Doylestown Borough Council meeting for Monday, June 26th. Everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda tonight is we have no special presentations. We have approval of minutes from our May 15th council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Mayor, do you have anything for us tonight?
I have no report this evening.
Okay. Public safety, Mr. Frederick, do you have anything for us?
The only thing I have tonight, Mr. President, is the fire company report, and everyone has that in their packet, and that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Public Works and Administration, Mr. Brown.
We did not meet, but I'll pass over to Mr. Ellinger if he has anything to add for the past month.
You have to switch hats when you get.
Yeah, no.
Finally gotten the big microphone. I don't have anything particular to report on other than we've been busy with various tasks preparing for our paving, first round of paving, which happens in 2 weeks. We'll be doing North Franklin Street, section of West Street, section of Oakland Avenue, and Hobaines Alley. We've also been doing a lot of water repair, pavement repairs from the water repair jobs that pile up, and we put together a pretty good list. Karen, could you show the monument? So in the park, and this is across the street here, we were contacted by Lou White through the agency of Jim Lannon about finding a setting for a lovely plaque that was given to Mayor White upon her retirement. So this rock is actually the bedrock upon which Doylestown sits upon. It was excavated out of the parking garage courthouse project and literally is borough bedrock. And so, you can move on. And so we chiseled out a relief in the face of the stone and then mounted the plaque, which is the next slide. And then this is what it looks like right now across the
Nice.
street.
That's lovely. Awesome.
Nice. That's not a Mercer tile, is it?
I believe that is an
Yeah, I think
original.
it is,
That
yeah.
is an original Mercer pattern in the center, and I'm pretty sure that Moravian, the Tile Works, made that
Okay.
for Libby. So it's consistent with the other themes, the cultural theme we have throughout the park.
Perfect.
We'll be doing additional landscaping around it. I think there's some mulch there now that was installed after that photograph, and we'll be putting in some flowers. And I think it's a fitting, elegant monument to Mayor White. So that is the end of my Public Works report.
Okay, I just also wanted to mention the great work that Public Works did preparing and cleaning up after the 5K and the parade, and it was all very well done, and it was good to see the guys out on their trucks at the parade, too.
Pass that along. Thank you.
That's all I've got, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Community and Government Affairs, Mr. Bell, what do you have for us tonight?
Thank you, Mr. President. We did meet for what at the time felt like a long meeting, and yet I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett, do you have anything for us?
We did meet this month, and we have a HARB report that involves two sign applications, one for 156 Green Street and one for 33 South Main Street. For 156 Green Street, the HARB recommended that council approve the application as submitted, and for 33 South Main, it's for a sign and an awning, and HARB recommended that council approve the application for the sign, and the applicant will return for approval of awning fabric color. For building applications, we had exterior building renovations for 107 East Court Street, and HARB recommended council approve the application as submitted with the condition that the siding and trim on the garage be hardy plank or equivalent and the gutters be half round. Next was 105 North Broad Street, a garage demolition, and HARB recommended that council approve the application as presented. And finally, 110 South West Street. It's a new construction application that's been amended The HARB recommended that council approve the application as presented at the meeting and the mortar be, quote, sandy in hue, and the applicant to consider a different ratio of stone color combination. But overall, the materials were approved. So the Zoning and Planning Committee recommends that council approve the applications in accordance with the HARB's recommendation. And if council wishes to follow the committee's recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I don't believe we have a zoning board report. Is that correct, Ms. That's
correct.
Yes. So we also have a building inspection and code enforcement report, which are in the packets. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Jarrett. Ms. Margolis, what do you have for us on Environment and Rec?
Okay, let me get there. Okay. We have the Doylestown Athletic Association fee waiver request. Doylestown Borough has a longstanding lease agreement with the Doylestown Athletic Association, allowing for the rent-free use of the borough's softball and baseball fields. This season, DAA was unable to field an older girls' team due to a lack of enrollment, but reached an agreement with the Plumstead softball, I assume that's league, to absorb those that had enrolled. Plumstead softball, in turn, with DAA's blessing, obtained permits for the use of Nice Park on Wednesday nights. DAA is requesting that any fees owed by Plumstead softball be waived. The Park and Recreation Board and the Environment and Recreation Committee are recommending that council waive softball field usage fees for Plumstead softball in 2023. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any, excuse me, any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the only other thing is that Doylestown Borough's plastic bag ban is in effect officially. Yay. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Margolis. Water utility, Mr. Lavrone, looks like you might have a few things for us on the.
Yes, we do. Two ordinances to consider. Both of those have been advertised and are duly posted on the front window of the Borough Hall there. So I want to talk about those two, and then two professional services agreements. First one, the first ordinance to consider is, I'll read from the screen there. Attached, please find the above referenced ordinance which creates an EPA-mandated cross-connection control program for water customers to determine potential cross-connection hazards and enforce rules regarding installation and testing of backflow prevention assemblies. At its May 15, 2023 meeting, council authorized the advertisement of the ordinance, and it has been since been properly advertised. The Water Utility is recommending that, committee is recommending that council adopt ordinance number 23-8. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is consideration of ordinance 2023-9, establishing requirements for construction of water mains and appurtenances. Please find the above referenced ordinance which codifies the technical manual known as the, quote, standard specifications for construction of water mains and appurtenances, unquote, recently created by the water engineer and chief water operator, and Jeremy's with us tonight. Thanks for being here, Jeremy. At its May 15th, 2023 meeting, council authorized the advertisement of the ordinance, and it has been since properly advertised. The Water Utility Committee is recommending that council adopt ordinance 2023-9. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of the council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the next item is for council to consider is a professional services agreement with the National Water Specialties Company, NAWSC, for cross-connection control, administrative, and backflow prevention program. We had brought this before council before. So in your packet, you would see the attached reference agreement and a summary of the program. The agreement provides for the NAWSC to administer our federal and state mandated cross-connection control program. The Water Utility Committee is recommending that council enter into an agreement with NAWSC to administer our program. The borough solicitor has reviewed the agreement and finds it acceptable. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the second professional services agreement is for design, permitting, and bidding of wells 9, 10, and 12 for PFAS treatment facilities project. And in your packet was attached the above referenced proposed agreement with CKS Engineers for the design, permitting, and bidding of PFAS treatment facilities at 3 of our 5 wells, 9, 10, and 12, at a total cost of $410,270. The agreement would be funded by the Water Capital Fund, a copy of which is attached for your information. The Water Utility Committee is recommending approval of the proposal. If council wishes to follow their recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of the council?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. President. What's the standard that the treatment is intended to reach?
0.
Yeah, it'd be 0.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what treatment system we go with, or basically what the DEP or EPA MCL limit finally gets set. Once everything's been completely established, any system that goes in is still going to treat to 0.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any other questions from members of council?
I just wanted to mention that we had a very successful water committee public meeting with that was well attended, and we got a lot of good community input on this as well. So thank you for everybody that had something to do with that.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. That I agree 100%. It was a really good public participation.
Anything else from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions from the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's the end of my report, except to thank, since Jeremy's here, I'd like to thank him at the meeting in public here for all the great work he continues to do. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lavrone. Ms. Popkin, what do you have for us on finance?
Finance and pension did not meet this month, but I do have the finance report that's in your packet. And the bills to be paid total $872,168.48. And I make a motion to approve that.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any members of the public have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The Personnel Committee is next. Although my name is listed, I was unable to attend that. I'm going to ask Ms. Margolis to present that.
You know what, Mr. O'Brien? I do not have.
Here it is.
There we go. Thank you. Okay, I chaired the meeting in Mr. O'Brien's absence, and following is the appointment to Historical and Architectural Review Board meeting. On June 14th, 2023, the Personnel Committee met to interview candidates to fill a vacancy on the HARB brought about by the resignation of board member Anthony R.C. Hita in April. As a result of the interviews, the committee is recommending that Richard K. Chase be appointed to the HARB for the term expiring December 31st, 2023. If council wishes to follow the Personnel Committee's recommendations as stated, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, professionals report. Mr. Doherty's not here tonight?
He is not. I'm taking his place tonight, and Mr. President, we have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Solicitors report. Do you have anything for us?
We have no report this evening.
Thank you. Chief Knott, anything for us on the, from the police?
It's
Other
in the
than
packet
this
today.
afternoon?
Yeah, we had a busy day, but we have one in custody. I'm happy to report. So it's a long day, but it was worth it.
Okay, thank you. I do not have a president's report. Do we have any items of old business? Do we have any items of new business?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I have 3 quick notes. I wanted to congratulate Michael Hedrick and AJ Manuel from the fire company on graduating from firefighter 1, and also our own Dave Berger, who graduated from firefighter 2 class, and his son Ryan, who graduated firefighter 1 class in May as well. Also, the HRC, the Human Relations Commission Bullying Forum that was held was very well done, had a crowd of about 40. I thought that was very well done. And congratulations to CB West Baseball. They were the District 1 6A champs for the first time ever. They had their first state championship win and then lost in the second round in extra innings to the eventual champ, Father Judge.
Thank you. Any other items of new business? Open public comment. Anybody have anything? Nope. We do not have an executive session. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
17 minutes.
Still not.